Hey guys, welcome back for a long overdue video. I'm so excited to get back into YouTube video making, and let's strap in and watch this flip. So we'll just jump right into the video with the fact that my dad bought this for me for a whopping $1, guys. After further inspection, we believe that a hutch top that he had found prior to this belonged on this piece, but I just took the base and I had an idea brewing in my brain of what it could look like, and I was super excited to get started on it. But as usual, you always have to take off the hardware and clean your piece. That's my go-to step every single time. Even if I don't know what I'm doing, I feel like cleaning the piece, looking it over, kind of gives you an idea of what you could do, or, gets the creative juices flowing. So I'm actually going in with my current favorite cleaner, I should say. This is Crud Cutter. I started using this mainly because I ran out of my Lily Moon furniture prep cleaner, and I just haven't remembered to order more. And Crud Cutter is actually a really good cleaner for the price, I'm gonna say. I like the fact that it gets even like the unseen grease and gunk off of your piece. It's just actually really incredible. So I just sprayed everything down with this, wiped everything really clean. In the grooves, I used my brush, and then you have to make sure that you go over everything with a wet washcloth, just plain water, to rinse off all the residue of the grease and grime. I was actually kind of struggling getting this drawer out, and I thought, oh man, it's a broken track, just my luck. I hate fixing tracks, you guys. It's very time consuming and expensive for such a small piece. But it actually ended up being a beanie. I was kind of grossed out because it had a lot of holes in it. Like, that beanie was worn. But I was very thankful for the fact that the track was not ruined and I didn't have to replace it. So my main vision was to replace this base. I did not like the original base. It was too dated for me. Normally I like to keep pieces as close to their original state as possible, but if it needs it, guys, I'm gonna replace what I need to get it to fit my vision, and also to update it enough that people want these pieces in their homes. So here I'm just trying to figure out how to get this base off as quickly and efficiently as possible. It was held together by, it didn't even have all the screws. I think it had 8 screws, and maybe 5 of them were actually still there, which is kind of confusing to me because I was trying to figure out how this base was still on there. I guess they must have used some really good wood glue because it didn't want to move at first until I had to pry it up a little bit with a mallet and one of my spatulas. So while I was at it, I figured I might as well wipe off the bottom of this piece. It wasn't really dirty or dusty. It had a few cobwebs, but for the most part, it was actually looking really good. So I just lightly dusted it, and then I flipped the piece onto its top because I wanted to make and attach my base before I got too much further into this flip. So for my base, I went to Lowe's and picked up some oak boards. I got oak 2x2s, and then I also got 1x3s. Just because I know oak's a sturdy piece of wood, and this whole piece is actually made of oak, and I just felt like it would fit with the tone and give me the stability I'm looking for. This was actually the next day. I finished the base the night before and just stopped working on the piece. So we're on to the next day, and I am filling in all the old hardware holes and this, I don't know, decal or carving. I just feel like the carving really dated the piece. I am actually going to go over the fronts of these drawers with paintable wallpaper later on. I didn't get footage of that, but I still needed a flat surface for this paper to go onto, and I just felt like it would give me a good surface. So here I'm actually just sanding down that Bondo with a 100 grit sandpaper, and then I'm actually going to scuff sand the rest of the piece at the same time with 120 grit sandpaper. Alright guys, so there was a few parts that weren't quite filled in all the way, so I just went in with some Bondo putty just to fill in. They were like less than a quarter inch, like way less, like maybe tip of my fingernail. So I just went in. I'm going to sand it off in a moment, and then we'll get to priming. I sanded the whole rest of the body with 120 grit. Now, onto the fun part, which is actually getting my paint color on this piece. looking back, and now that I finished this piece, I wish I would have gone over those Bondo spots. I also had filled in, there was a line on the top of the piece, like a decorative border line. I had filled that in with Bondo. I wish I had sprayed some shellac over it, because even though this paint that I'm using is a all-in-one paint, I still saw some shadowing of the Bondo work I had done. On the drawer fronts, I really didn't care because they were getting covered anyways, but if you guys use Bondo and are painting over it, always make sure you seal it with at least shellac. Better to do shellac and primer, but in this case I didn't do that and I regretted it later on. I'm actually using the color Chesler by Fusion Mineral Paints. This is one of the new paint line colors. This is the third color from this line that I've used, and guys, these colors are so beautiful, so moody, so rich, and just mesmerizing. Honestly, I can't get enough of them, and I highly recommend you try these colors out. Here I'm actually attaching the base officially. I had done a dry fit just to make sure it would look right, and then I decided to paint the piece first because I didn't want to get any overspray. I know you could tape it off and everything, but I'm trying to save on my supplies, guys. Save on my supplies and buy other supplies that I like using on a frequent basis. This is the Lily Moon Furniture Balm. I think this is the lemon lavender scent. I can't remember which one I used, but even though I use primarily all-in-one paints, guys, I always add some furniture balm on top of my pieces. I feel like it gives it a luster in photos that is unmatchable. Here I'm just doing some spot checking on the fronts of my drawers. I have already put the paintable wallpaper on here, and I'm just trying to touch up the spots that didn't get enough paint on them and just make them look fresh and ready to go. I ended up drilling the hardware holes after this. My intent was to do that before adding the paper, but I wasted time. My time management skills when it comes to drilling hardware holes is not that good. It's not my favorite thing to do. So I had ordered some hardware that I thought was going to be a perfect color match for the existing cabinet door hardware, but they didn't match at all. So I just went in with, this is Rust-Oleum's metallic paint in the color Champagne Bronze or Champagne Gold, something like that. And I just painted them all to match each other. Quick fix, and this way I didn't have to wait another 2 days for new pulls. So after putting everything back together, I wanted to show you guys what it looked like before and what it looks like now, guys. This piece is so gorgeous. I'm so happy with the way it came out, and I'm in love. This color is amazing. I hope to see you guys for another video soon. I'm hoping to get back in my YouTube groove and come out with something more regular.
Don't forget to check out our channels again. Sorry guys. Subscribe to our channel.